Hello guys, welcome to week number 4 of Programming Fundamental with Python. This is actually the programming series, and in week number 4 we are going to discuss a couple of programs which will elaborate the concept of assignment operator as well as addition operator. Actually, we did not cover operators in details right now, but these are simple programs, and I'm sure you would be able to understand the concepts and the code of these programs because they are very simple. But later on we will see some more operators in details. So our first program for week number 4 is here. Let us discuss the program line by line. The first two line actually indicates comments. The interpreter has nothing to do with the comments. Our actual program start with line number 3. At line number 3, I declared a variable with the name number 1. And then I assigned a value, an integer type value, that is 10, to this variable number 1 with the help of this assignment operator. Then on line number 4, I declare a second variable, and the name of the variable here is number 2. And then I assigned another integer type value, that is 20, with the help of an assignment operator to this variable, which is number 2. Then at line number 5, I actually declare a third variable, and the name of this third variable is sum. You can assign any other variable name by keeping in mind the rules and regulation how to give a proper name to a variable. Then this variable will actually store an expression, the result of an expression. What is happening here, that I am going to perform an operation, and the operation is addition. I am performing the operation with the help of plus operator. Plus is actually an example of operator, arithmetic operator. It will add the two numbers provided to this operator. This is operator, and number 1 and number 2 are actually examples of operands. The thing on which the operator is applied on is referred to as operand. So we have two operands and one operator here. Actually, the number 1 will be replaced by the value stored in this number 1 variable. So here we will get 10, and instead of number 2, it will be replaced by 20. So 10 plus 20 is equal to 30, and the resultant value, that is 30, will be assigned to this third variable sum with the help of this assignment operator. Remember, equal is example of assignment operator. Finally, in the last line, I am using the print function, built-in function, user-defined function, library function, to actually print the value which is stored in the variable sum, right? So here in this particular example, I am actually passing two different arguments to the function print. The first argument is an example of string constant, that is the sum is equal to, it will be displayed on the screen exactly in the same way you can see it here. It could be anything. Even you can print the sum without providing this string constant to the print function anyway. And then the second argument that I'm going to pass to the function is actually the variable sum, or the value stored in the variable sum. And we know that sum contains the addition of number 1 and number 2, and it is equal to 30. So sum actually contains a value that is 30. So it will display the sum is equal to 30. When you write the program, the next step is to save the program. I want to save the program with week-04. Remember, you have to provide the extension, that is py, and then select the directory, the folder where you want to save this file. I want to save it on the desktop. Save the file. Okay, now the program is successfully saved. Next step is to run the program by using or by calling the Python interpreter. So just write the Python keyword here, give a space, and then write name of the file. Press enter, and you would see the sum is equal to 30. Okay, remember, when you run the program, in your case, I'm quite possible that you will not observe the parentheses and the single quotes here. Yes, I'm using an older version of Python, so sometime it give me incorrect format because of the version compatibility and other issues. But if you run the same program on your computer, I'm sure you will not see these things. But doesn't matter. In the next program, you will see I will get rid of these things as well, right? You will not see the opening parentheses, the closing parentheses, and the single or double quotes here. We will get rid of it in a moment. So you see here, the sum is equal to 30 is the output of this program. Now let us move to the next program, which is actually the last program for this week. And let us see how things will happen here. Okay, so this is almost the same program, a different flavor of the same program, because you will see I am using the same variables, that is number one, number two, and sum. I am using the same concept that I want to add the values stored in the two variables, number one and number two, and then I want to assign the result of this expression with the help of assignment operator to the third variable sum. And then finally, I am going to display the value which is stored in the sum variable along with the string literal with the help of the print function. The change is here. Instead of providing constant values before running the program, I want to enable the user to input any values of their choice at runtime. For that, I need to use the input function. If you are not familiar with the input function, please refer to video of week number 2 for getting an insight about the input function. However, it is a function that we use to accept input from the user. So input function, I'm going to call the input function. It will play its role, and its role is to accept a value from the user and then assign the value to the variable number 1. Here I use something which is called int. It actually stands for integer, and now I am explicitly telling the Python interpreter that the value provided by the user is actually an integer type value or integer type constant. So you will not be able to, although you can provide floating point constant, but it will convert it into integer type. So first it will display the string enter first number equal on the screen, and then it will wait for the user to provide a value, integer type value. Once the user provide an integer type value, that value will be assigned to the variable number 1 with the help of this assignment operator. And then it will display uh, the second string literal, that is enter second number, with the help of the input function, and then it will wait for the user to input a value. Once the user provide a second value, that value will be stored or assigned to the variable number 2 with the help of this assignment operator. And then finally, we have a third variable sum, and it actually perform addition operation with the help of plus operator, which is actually an arithmetic operation on the two variables, on the value stored in these two variables. So for example, the user provide 2 here and the user provide 3 here. So 2 will come here and 3 will come here. 2 plus 3, we will get 5. And the value, the resultant value of this expression will be allocated, will be stored, will be assigned to the variable sum. And finally, in the last line, we actually print the value that is stored in this variable along with a string literal, that is the sum is equal to. So in this case, we are actually passing two different arguments to the print function, right? So let us save the program, and then let us run the program with the help of Python interpreter. Okay, so enter first number, let us to provide 2. It is waiting for me to provide a number and then press enter. Now it asks me for another number 3. So the sum is equal to 5. Again, in my case, you would see the parentheses and the single quotes. But if you run the same program on your in your IDE by using your Python interpreter, then I'm sure you will not get this. You will get rid of this issue. Similarly, you can use any online available interpreter to see if it works the same way as I mentioned or not. So just type your program here, run the program, provide two values 2 and 3. You see, Here the things are quite pretty. You will not see the parentheses and the quotation marks. So the sum is equal to 5. So this was about our programs of week number 4. Next week we will be talking about operators, different types of operators. Till then, goodbye.